Good morning, everyone. Trevor Thompson, TNT Pressure Cleaning, Dynamite Service with explosive results. That is the X-Jet chemical container that you can see in the distance, and that's got 100 feet of 3/8 poly braided hose. It's got the X-Jet screen attachment for a siphon, and works awesome. I got a 4200 PSI, 4 gallon a minute, belt driven cold water unit. It's got an AR nickel plated 13 horse pump Viper on the back, and we've got a 50 feet of Flexzilla supply line and a few hundred feet of high pressure hose. We'll only be using 100 today. And these are the new collapsible cones. So these cones collapse into that little box right there, and they really make it nice. So we are up on a roof right now, and we're gonna be doing a pool enclosure. Good morning, everybody. One of the first things I do is I look and I take I look at the sidewalks, I look at the driveway, and I say, boy, that really needs to be clean. When I knock on the door, I saw that the soffits really need to be done. Let me loosen these earplugs a little bit. I use these so I don't get SH in my ears, and also to keep the noise reduction from the machine down. But so I can see that the house is really in need of a house wash. So that's something that we'll put on the schedule. And now that I'm up on the roof, we can see that we've got some mildew up here, and you can see what that looks like there. So so the roof certainly needs a nice washing. But today we're going to be doing a pool enclosure, and I've made note, once these screens start to silver like they are, you can tell that they're damaged from sun and exposure to the elements, and they're old. So you really want to reduce your pressure. Otherwise, you can make marks on these screens. Do not use a high pressure tip. That would just be the worst possible thing that you could do. So you're gonna need an X-Jet, or you're gonna need a soft wash. You're gonna need to figure out how to reduce your pressure. There are many ways to do that. So anyway, we do have a gutter guard system up here. And you can see that there's a little bit of debris that's set on top. So we're going to blow all that off and get that nice and clear for them. And I'll show you what the beams and screens look like. But you can see here, you can see how brittle those screens are. So you already have rips and areas that are compromised. You can see that silvering through there. So so the screens are very old. But one of the things when I came up here that I noticed was that we were buckled, and these leaf guards are just a track. So in this track, you can see that it fits in. You see that groove? So that groove is going to fit in with that lip, and you just make sure that it snaps in place. And it's going to be hard to do with just one hand, but that groove fits right in that little snug spot there, and it just feeds all the way down in there, just like that, and just like that. So, and then you line them up. So you get them all nice and lined up, and you can check inside there and make sure that we don't have any debris, and make sure your lips are all lined up together. So, and that way, because stuff will get itself in there, even though there's a glorified plastic, and then there's a mesh screen. Things do, especially when these things blow open, get inside there. So you want to make sure that your downspouts are flowing properly. But that's as easy, this particular system, that's as easy as those gutter guards are. And we'll take a quick walk down the ladder, and I'll show you what the foundation looks like, and I'll show you what the beams look like and the deck looks like. Now they're getting ready to prep for paint, and they've got some guests coming in, so that's one of the reasons that they called. But while you're up here, make note of other neighbors. Check this out. You got Gloeocapsa magma, and you've got a lot of organic matter on the flashing. So, there's just so many neighbors to be cleaned up. So it's important that you do a really, really good job, because these neighbors will talk. This is that Gorilla ladder that extends to 26 feet. It A-frames to 16 feet, and I've just got it extended from its natural setting, which is a really solid ladder. If you take a look at that, it's just really easy up, really easy down. Doesn't damage any of the shingles or anything like that. So if we take a quick pan down here, you can kind of see what the deck looks like in through there, and you can see what the foundation looks like. And we'll get around to some areas where you can really see how the mildew has already set up. You have your dirt and debris, but you can see what that foundation looks like down there. So we really want to make sure that that's nice and bright and beautiful. You can see that we've got some splines that are loose. You see that sagging in the screen there? See that? So those are things that you want to be conscientious of when you're shooting. We also have made note that look at our drain spot. You can see that water setup. See that water setup in here? So this is going to be a pool spot. This is going to be a difficult spot to chase water out of. So you're going to have to be conscientious of that, and you're going to have to find the drain holes and try to bust those open so that you get some drainage through there. We're going to have to move these mulch bags back just a little bit, and that way we can get the rest of the foundation in through here. And you just take note of little things like this. You've got moss. That's moss growing right there. So you want to make sure that all that gets knocked off, and then make this nice and pretty. A nice little blanket of solution through here. Eat up all that organic matter. And if we walk inside the cage, we can see sort of what our beams look like. And I'll get you up close so you can kind of see the organic matter that's set up on there. And a nice solution with a good surfactant that's nice and sticky so that SH doesn't dry very quickly. We'll dissolve that in next to no time. You don't need anything greater really than a 3% mix, which is really super hot, especially on these screens, because you don't want to compromise their integrity anymore. And you can see what that looks like. So, the real trick to this whole trade is knowing your dilution rates, saving your homeowners from compromising the integrity of whatever surface it is you're cleaning, and making note. You can really see the organic matter that's set up on there. So you're gonna have to figure out what works and what doesn't work, and you're gonna have to watch videos like this so that you get a better idea of how to shoot. But to be honest with you, it comes with experience and knowing that you've heard some things. Will a nuclear batch mix make quick work? Yeah, it absolutely will. But are you don't want to just sling the sauce around like it's it's caustic, and it's yes, it's a pool chlorine, and it's if diluted properly, it's safe and effective, and that's what I will say. If in the wrong hands, it can be you can change the color of paint, you can just really age the surface. So it's really important to know your dilution rates, and to know what types of surfactants to use, which are sticky, which are not that sticky, which rinse really good on windows, and that type of thing. So experiment, play around. Hope everyone's having a great day. Keep cleaning. Trevor Thompson, TNT Pressure Cleaning, dynamite service with explosive results. I'm going to be doing this all with the X-Jet high pressure ball valve, a reducer off of the high pressure ball valve, and that's it. I will not need a single lance today, and I will show you what I use. This is going to be your high pressure ball valve with a Mossmatic swivel. So this is the DN10. This is the Mossmatic swivel. Yes, these are expensive, but yes, they are great. Inside of here, we are going to have our X-Jet that we will siphon our chemicals from, and we will also be doing cleaning with. We will be using the reducer, so that will reduce and allow us to attach the X-Jet straight onto that off of the high pressure ball valve. And then we will be using a J-rod with different types of wash tips and shooter tips and a high pressure tip. We will probably not need that high pressure tip today, other than in some stubborn areas. We will definitely be using both the water broom and the 40-degree rinse tip. And that's because there's a lot of areas where there's a TV and electrics and things where I do not want to get any of the overspray that's created from the X-Jet anywhere near those electrics. So that just kind of gives you an idea. We'll lay those out for you. Those will be the tools of today, along with the high pressure. Oops, sorry, we won't need the Suttner. We will not need the Suttner easy pull, but we will use the high pressure. So high pressure ball valve, really super important. Pay the extra money, get the good stuff. use the XJet, because this will save you so much. I don't know what other guys are doing, but I do a lot of pool enclosures, and the XJet will certainly be your best friend. The reducer, which allows you to stick on the end of here, which allows you to stick on the end of here. You can siphon your chemicals, you can clean, and then you're going to need something like this where you have some big orifice wash tips that will allow you to have a more controlled spray pattern around electrics or pushing water without the overspray that this comes. Yes, you can modify these, but if you decide to modify these, then you don't have that long range capability that you used to have, nor do you have the pressure that you sometimes will need. So a modified XJet, which I do have one in the trailer, is great, especially around flower beds and things like that. It really reduces the mist and the overspray. But the original there's a reason why it's the original. So I would stick with this. To each their own. Everybody has to try their own version of what works for them. There are many ways to clean. I have found what works best for me and what's most effective. So hope everybody's enjoyed this video. I'm going to get shooting right now. Make sure to pre-treat with water. I'm a huge believer in that. Never just shoot your chemicals right away. Don't rush through a job. Take your time, be meticulous, thorough, and detailed. Leave a great taste in the homeowner's mouth, and they will chat with the neighbors, and you will have more business than you can possibly handle. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. We'll talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.